In my childhood, not too long after the death of Blockbuster, movies would come in that little red Netflix envelope. And it was a big deal, because it didn't happen all the time. But when it did, it was always special. So Friday night would roll around, and it would be movie night. Dad was cooking, so that meant Red Baron Pizza. The good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody had their favorites. My mom had the movie taste of a 12-year-old boy. She loves her action movies. It's awesome. My dad will watch anything because he'll sleep through anything. And my sister, at the time, was going through the phase where she watched exclusively Glee. So that was just fun to be around. But me? Well, my top pick was dogs. Talking dog movies. That was my favorite. And there were so freaking many of them. In the post-Air Bud talking dog movie boom, these things were coming out like every month at least for a good little while, from the mid-90s all the way through the early to late aughts. I say talking animal movies, but in truth, I just loved live-action movies starring animals, usually made for kids. Air Bud was the first big one, which spawned, let's see here, 5 spin-offs, just within the mainline Air Bud franchise. First movie, Air Bud Plays Basketball, Air Bud, 1997. Second movie, Air Bud Plays Football, Air Bud 2, Golden Receiver, 1998. In the third movie, Air Bud Plays Soccer, Air Bud 3, this one has the puppies in it, 2002. In the fourth movie, Air Bud Plays Baseball. At this point, the formula is starting to wear thin. Air Bud, 7th Inning Fetch, 2002. I look like an insane person. Like, what am I doing? What is it? I'm in my dorm room talking about dog movies. And then in the 5th and final installment of the original Air Bud franchise, Air Bud Plays Basketball again. Air Bud Spikes Back, 2003. But that was just the beginning, because Air Bud kicked off an entire freaking tidal wave of just like animal movies. A lot of them from Disney as well. Disney made Air Bud. Immediately following Air Bud is 9 Air Buddies spin-offs. 9 of them. They made so many of these movies. It was like an annual release thing for a long time, the better part of a decade. These movies promptly abandoned sports. They were like, we've done all that we can. That's not true. We'll get back to that later. There's so many other animal sports movies. In the first movie, they rescue their parents. Pretty standard stuff, right? Good adventure movie topic, right? And then, in the second Air Buddies movie, they participate in a dog race. Don't ask me how they got there. I haven't seen any of these movies since 2009. And then in the third movie, as if we haven't jumped the shark enough, they go to space. These are astronaut dogs. Then they have Halloween adventures. Then they have Indiana Jones-style adventure movie adventures. And lastly, they become superheroes. Because, like, where else are you going to go from there? And then somewhere in there, they had time for 3 completely separate Christmas adventures. They also made monkey movies. Right after Air Bud 3, they decided, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to hit a whole other corner of the animal kingdom. So back to back, we have 3 movies starring the same monkey. The first movie, MVP, Most Valuable Primate. He plays hockey. He's really good at hockey for some reason. Second movie, Most Vertical Primate. He takes up skateboarding. Freaking shreds. Kills it. Kills the game. I mean, this is a freaking renaissance monkey. This guy can do everything. Third movie, Most Extreme Primate. He snowboards. Like a freaking boss. I love this guy. I mean, this monkey's probably dead. Unrelated, but still an incredible movie concept. Spy Mate. Same vein of movies. He's a spy this time. I don't know if it's the same monkey. God, I hope it is. This is just one company too. I haven't even covered their entire filmography. These movies were produced on a shoestring budget for home movie release. They were Hallmark movies for kids. So I missed the mark a little bit. Not all of the animals in these movies talk, much less in a way that humans can understand. But I do think they all fall into the same subcategory of cheap movies for kids starring animals. And I think they provide some interesting insight into how we as humans relate to animals. Like, take a look at talking dogs in media. They're so commonplace, I think they transcend tropism. They're just everywhere. There's movies like Beethoven, A Dog with a Blog, Homeward Bound, the freaking Taco Bell dog. Mostly in cartoons, but not always. Like, look at Family Guy, look at Adventure Time, look at Scooby-Doo. The dogs talk, and nobody really cares. Like, it's just part of their character. The audience doesn't care, so then why should the other characters? It would just be inefficient. So then why is this fine? I think we've been conditioned to be fine with it. And that's okay. In the golden age of television, you have Mr. Ed, a show about a talking horse who will only talk to one man, and all the trouble that ensues. This is in the late 60s. Then prior to that, there's ventriloquism acts and puppetry. It goes way back. Even all the way back to folklore and indigenous storytelling. So for as long as stories have been a thing, people have been giving human speech to animals. Maybe it stems from some innate desire to connect with them at a deeper level. They are, after all, close companions through life. Look at Will Smith's conversations with his dog in I Am Legend. I know, I do the same. Not survive the apocalypse, but, I talk to my cat all the time. It's one-sided conversation, but she's good company. Am I lonely? I might be lonely. So a compulsion to understand is offered a solution. We give them our own voice. No translator necessary. So conversational dissonance becomes entertainment, becomes a really freaky hot cocoa ad, becomes a fact of life. Animals can talk, and we've made them do it time and time again. And I think the world's a little less lonely for it. Thank you.